Hey everyone, it's the Coco Nomad here, and I am back with another episode to share some of the tips, tricks, and techniques that have helped me the successful life of living a location independent life, traveling around the world. Regardless of whether you are doing the same, if you're just working remotely, I really believe that a lot of the things that I share are helpful for you too. So please stick around, click like or subscribe, and you'll be notified of new videos if you'd like that as well. I'm also going to share some links that are helpful down below in the description. So today's topic, I really wanted to dive into something that has worked really well for me, and I wanted to share some of those benefits, and that is having an accountability partner. Now, I have several now, and I started out with one probably about maybe four years ago when I started doing this. And actually started with one of my friends that I met while I was traveling as a part of a travel program, and we continued to do this as we were working on different projects. So I was going to dive into like these benefits of having an accountability partner and why I think you should have one. And now that I think about it, let's start with number one: improving your chances of success. And when I think about that, I remember in reality, I had an accountability partner even before I started traveling. And the first one I had was a training partner. And this is a friend of mine, Kevin. Years ago, we were both boxing and we weren't in the same weight class, but we decided that we would train together in order to sort of stay in shape, work on our skills, and continue to grow. And so we made a pact that we would get up early in the mornings before work. And we were both working 9 to 5s at jobs that we had to drive to in Atlanta. So we were driving through a lot of traffic. And but we were living in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and we would drive to this gym, and we would just message each other in the morning at like 6:15, 6:30, just like, let's go, let's get it. And so that accountability partner was really a person that I was depending on. It was depending on me, and we're counting on each other to show up at the gym, to just be there and then get through the workouts. And we didn't always, we typically would do the same workout, but we had some variants because, again, like I said, we're working on different things. He was heavyweight, so super middle. Like some of the things we just weren't going to be doing the same, including some of the sparring. But the core workout was the same. You know, we worked on some things and we helped each other and we increased the chances of success. Now, that doesn't mean that either of us always showed up. You know, some days something happened, some days, but I guarantee you, I showed up at the gym and worked out more and trained more because of my time with him than I would have otherwise. So having an accountability partner, setting that external expectation, that external commitment will increase your chances of success. Reason number two: having an accountability partner helps you maintain focus and clarity. So, and what I mean by this is in the meetings with my partners, I have to explain what it is I'm committing to over the next period. Sometimes it's a week, with other partners, it's every 2 weeks, with some, so it's once a month. But regardless, I'm committing to these actions and I have to speak clearly about what it is that I'm intending to do. And I also have to speak clearly about what I've already done. And a lot of times, what happens in some of these conversations during the meetings, my accountability partner over time will make sure that I have clarity, because sometimes I'll have these goals that I want to set and they'll sort of ring me into focus in on something that's achievable, not biting up, not trying to bite off more than I can chew, not committing to over committing, trying to do too many things, and also being clear about what it is that I'm creating or what it is that I'm doing. And that's so that partner can keep you grounded in your progress. And and having to explain something to another person forces you to have clarity, much like me explaining this process and these benefits in these videos, which is one of the reasons why I do it. The third reason is that it can expand your horizons and or your network. So having a partner, and most of mine are outside of my area of expertise and area of work, and I like that because just like I have to explain things to someone who may not know all of the in language of my field and all of the buzzwords and things like that, I also have someone who has a completely different perspective because they're coming from a different arena. And what they can do then is they can provide some perspective of what it sounds like that I'm doing, what it sounds like, what they're hearing from me. And they can also then suggest, introduce some new ideas, to sort of flesh things out or alternate things to think about They can share resources, which it often happens, or even introduce me to new people. Say, this is a person you should meet, this is the person you should talk to. So, having an accountability partner, especially one who's outside of your area of work or area of expertise, can really help you to expand your horizons, expand your network, and you start to see things a bit differently. Um, the fourth benefit of that is sort of related to that, and that's discovering new opportunities. As you're expanding these horizons, as you're expanding your network, you're being exposed to new opportunities. You're getting new chances to do some different things. Now, I tend to try to have projects that I'm committed to that are not really long term. They're smaller so that they're doable in, say, for instance, a matter of a couple of months or maybe a few weeks, so I can increase the chance of success. So along those lines, I'll be introduced to something new that I may want to do. Sometimes it's just a byproduct of the relationship that you've established with your accountability partner. And a great example of that is my brother Raheem and I started doing this process, accountability partners working together, and we started a new YouTube channel because we were having these conversations and our meetings were running a bit long. And I'll talk about making sure you respect the time and not go overboard with that in your meetings. But because we've known each other forever, we sort of set aside some time in our meetings for this, and we know that that's going to happen. So we plan for it. But then the offshoot of that is that we decided that a lot of the conversations that we were having had benefits for people other than ourselves. It's like, well, this is beneficial for someone else to hear. Let's share that. So we started recording separately our conversations on those particular topics. But the topics actually come out of our accountability meetings. We'll be trying to do some new thing, or we're accounting something that we've read, and we'll start having a discussion, and then we'll put a pin in it, make a note of it, and say, okay, that's a show episode. And so that's another benefit. And then finally, sort of related to that particular accountability partner, mostly, although it's true for all of these, it can strengthen an existing relationship. So lots of times with our friends, family, colleagues, life gets in the way. Everybody has obligations. We don't necessarily see each other, talk to each other, meet with each other as often as we had in the past. And as a byproduct of having accountability partners that are my friends and some are new friends, it strengthens that relationship. It increases our chances to be in community with each other, to talk to each other, to share what's going on in our lives. And we're vested in each other because we're constantly staying up to date and actually really invested in what the other person is doing and them being successful. So it really strengthens the relationship, helps you get to know another person. And also, because you're going through some of the challenges, you really get to see more of that person than you may if you were just occasionally meeting for like a dinner or sending text messages back and forth with the typical, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. It's very cursory, very topical. But when you're working on things and you get to see like someone deal with frustration or deal with confusion or all of these kinds of things, and you're working together to help them through it, it really strengthens that bond. So these are five reasons or five benefits from having accountability partners that I think could help you. And I really strongly encourage people to have accountability partners to gain these benefits in addition to the benefits of just being able to get things done and having someone to bounce the ideas off of. I will continue to make videos like this to share different tips, techniques, and things that I've done, tools that I use, and I hope you find them helpful. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next time.